Continuing on talking about grace, today we're going to be in 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. It says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." In a world that often celebrates strength, self-sufficiency, and outward success, this verse presents a counterculture and liberating message. It reminds us that our weaknesses are not roadblocks to God's work, but rather fertile ground where his divine power can be most perfectly displayed. To truly grasp the power of 2 Corinthians 12:9, we must understand its context. Paul, a spiritual giant who experienced incredible revelations and performed mighty works for God, faced a persistent, debilitating struggle he called a thorn in the flesh. Paul, like any of us, desperately sought relief. He pleaded with the Lord 3 times to remove this thorn, yet God's answer was not removal, but a profound revelation. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." This teaches us a crucial lesson. God doesn't always remove our difficulties. Sometimes his plan involves sustaining us through them, not just delivering us from them. But what does it mean that God's grace is sufficient? Sufficient means enough, but in God's economy, it's far more than just enough. It's an overflowing, inexhaustible supply. It means God's grace is fully capable of meeting our every need, sustaining us in every circumstance, and providing all the resources we require. His grace is for each and every one of us. This verse doesn't say, "My grace is sufficient for the Apostle Paul," but "My grace is sufficient for you." This promise is for every believer in every season of life, facing every challenge. When we feel inadequate, overwhelmed, or burdened by our weaknesses, God's grace steps in to fill those gaps. It reminds us that we don't have to have it all together or pretend to be stronger than we are. In fact, our very acknowledgement of weakness is what opens the door for God's grace and power. God's grace empowers us for daily living. It empowers us for enduring trials and suffering, for overcoming temptations and sin, for fulfilling our callings and ministry, for living with peace and contentment, and for loving and forgiving others. The message of 2 Corinthians 12:9 is not a call to seek weakness, but to embrace it when it comes, recognizing it as an opportunity for God's power to be displayed. It's an invitation to shift our focus from our limitations to God's limitless grace. Are you facing a thorn in the flesh today? Are you feeling weak, inadequate, or overwhelmed? Hear the Lord's words to you. "My grace is sufficient for you." Let us, like Paul, boast all the more gladly of our weaknesses, so that the magnificent, transforming power of Christ may rest upon us. Thank you.